Okay, so I'm going to quickly go over the answers to the quick check and how you do them if you don't know how to do them. All right, so this was the first one. 3.77 meters per second is the correct answer. Okay, so I'm going to go over how to do this if you don't know how to do this. So here's the idea. You have an object that's traveling, well, in a circle there. Looks like the radius is 3 meters. All right. And it takes 5 seconds for this thing to circle around in this circle. All right. So you can just know that velocity is distance over time. You can do this if the velocity is constant. All right. This isn't true if the velocity is accelerating. Okay. If the velocity is changing. But since this is uniform circular motion, you can just go ahead and use distance over time as, your idea of what speed means. And then you just have to know, well, the distance it travels is 1 circumference, which would be 2 pi times the radius. And I just told you it took 5 seconds to travel that circumference. So there would be your velocity. So if you did this, you get to 3.77. All right. So this is question 2 right here. And here's the answer, 10.05. This is the same idea. It's just that instead of giving you the time it took to do 1 circumference, so you're still going to use the same distance over time formula. You just have to sort of say, oh, this does 2 revolutions every second. Okay. So the time you could sort of say, well, it traveled in 1 second, right? And how far did it travel in 1 second? 2 revolutions, which is 2 circumferences. So I'm going to do my circumference again, 2 pi times the radius. And it did that twice. So the distance is that times 2, and the time is 1 second. Okay. So if you do this, you get the 10.05. All right. And then we go to the last one. The last one is basically the same as the first question. It's just symbolic. Okay. So I want you to give a symbolic equation that relates the speed to find the speed given all these other things. So it's the same thing as before. You're going to do distance over time. Of course, the distance is the circumference, right? So circumference, of course, is going to be 2 pi r, and that capital T is how long it takes, right? So that's divided by t. So this is exactly what you did in question 1. But I want to emphasize, this is the answer you wanted to type in for question 3, this right here. So let me show you how this looks like actually on the Schoology question, because you're going to be expected to type in equations on the actual test on Friday. So you need to know how to type that in here, for example. Okay, so here I'm expecting you to type in that equation I just showed you, the v equals 2 pi r over capital T. So you just start typing in this equation like v equals, and then you'll see you have all these little functions here. And then this is the one if you want to type in a fraction, right? See the sort of fraction indicator right here? And then notice it's setting up a fraction for you. So you can do 2 pi r, and the denominator, capital T, and that would be your answer. And that's what you would submit here, okay, to have it done. So what I want you to be able to do is know how to type in equations using this equation editor, basically, because I'm going to expect you to do this on the test. So notice that with this then equation editor, you can type in any equation you want that I might ask you to do. So I'm just going to make up some random equations. Say t squared is equal to v cubed. So I'm going to do this exponent thing with the cubed. And the denominator, I might say like 2 pi times, I don't know, f naught. So I'm using the subscript thing, f naught right there. And so here I have this equation, t cubed equals t squared is equal to v cubed over 2 pi f naught, or something like that, right? And so I might ask you on the test to write the force equation. So like, for example, right here, this would be your setup for this UCM equation, v squared over r equals ft over m. So I might ask you, to do something like that. So you would do v squared over r is equal to ft over m, or something like that, right? And there will be my force equation. All right. Obviously, this is not the answer to this question, but that could be an equation you could type in as an answer. All right. Okay. Hopefully that helps. If you have any questions, send me an email. All right. Bye.